Well, hello there. I'm Pete LaFrance, the old Growler, and welcome to Meeting Expectations. If this is your first visit here, what we do is we take a look at a can or a bottle of beer, sometimes some spirits stop by, maybe a bottle of wine. We read the label to see what they're trying to sell us, and then we crack it open to see if it meets expectations. Now there's three things we do a little bit differently here than other tastings. The first thing is all beers are tasted in the same glass. That way nobody has a leg up as far as being able to see clarity and to appreciate aroma. And when it speaks to aroma, we do things, again, a little differently here. Most people do tastings. They see, they sniff, they sip, and then they speak. I do it a little different. What I do is I see, I first sip, then sniff. Why? Sometimes the nose betrays the taste buds. Master sommelier Fred Dex will explain it all to you. And third, all beer should be served at the right temperatures. Ales between 50 and 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is not warm, that is a room temperature beer or cellar temperature. And lagers should be served probably a little bit below 40, maybe going into the high 30s up to 45 degrees. And that's why they can get all their aromas at peak perfection. What I do, I always take the temperature of the beer I'm tasting with my thermopen. That way I'll know whether to adjust my taste buds just a little bit one way or the other. There's a link down there if you want to get your own. All right. Let's get started. For those of you who have been here before, you know what to expect. Today, from the 21st Amendment, we have Hell or High Pomegranate. Hell or High Pomegranate. It's got the Statue of Liberty there with a slice of pomegranate in her hand. And it says this is a beer brewed with pomegranate and natural flavors. It is a seasonal release, so I'm imagining it's a summer beer meant to be very refreshing. $2.76 at the local beer barrel store. Take a look at the Statue of Liberty there. With looks like the Verrazano Narrows there. Yep, that's true. I didn't know the Verrazano Narrows was we're here in Brooklyn, so of course the Brooklyn Bridge is the icon of New York. Let's see, 12 fluid ounces, 4.9% alcohol by volume. All right, it's a session beer. Okay, a session beer, pomegranate, red, refreshing. Okay, I'm going to look for a red tinted, very effervescent, refreshing summer beer. All right, let's crack this open and see if it meets expectations. Okay, we've got the right glass. Well, there's no color to it. It's a nice clear beer. I'm not going to argue with that. Oh, I can smell from here. This is very aromatic. Oh, without a doubt. Look at that nice clear beer. A little bit of haze. Beautiful head. The head is, it's just magnificent. It's well knit, as they say. There's lots of tiny bubbles on the top. It is kind of rocky. It's bubbling up very nicely. It shows that there's a lot of malt in here. All right. Well, being that it is a lager beer, it should be at a relatively cold temperature. Let's see what we've got here. All right, it's been sitting out a little bit. It is exactly at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, not super chilled. So that means I'm probably going to get a little bit more of any of the aromatics that they have. All right, so I'm expecting a pomegranate, a rich pomegranate, refreshing beer. And let's go for the first swig. Oh. Yeah, pomegranate for sure. But there's a malt background to it. And I'm not saying that the pomegranate took over from the hops. But it is a pleasant, it's a very refreshing, this is a very refreshing beer. I would almost say that this would be, if you're out on the beach, this would be would be a dessert beer. after you're through with the clams and the oysters and the shrimp and the lobster, you're stuffed and you just want to relax. This would be sunset watching beer. Absolutely. All right, let's go in for a nosedive. Well, as I said, I opened this one up and I could smell it. It's not. Again, it's not a very artificial flavor. This is they managed to capture, I think, a very natural flavor to this, and with the malt in the background, and a very pleasant. You can see it laces a nice lace there, so it does have, again, a lot of body to this little baby. Yes, oh boy, that's nice. All right, one final swig. All right, well, it does. 21st century hell or high pomegranate. Beer brewed with pomegranate and natural flavor. Does it meet expectations? It certainly does. I'm Pete LaFrance, the Old Growler, hoping all of your beers meet expectations.